Hello everyone. Today I intend to look at Harry Helmsley's mausoleum, as well as others, to explore the impact that wealth has on the way an individual is remembered after their death. Harry Helmsley was born on March 4th, 1909, and eventually was able to build a company that became one of the biggest property holders in the entire United States. However, he and his wife, who was commonly referred to as the Queen of Mean, were indicted on federal charges of tax evasion. When it came time for the trial, Helmsley argued that he was unable to stand trial due to the fact that he was too weak mentally to be capable of assisting his attorneys in his own defense. Therefore, his crimes were unprosecuted. With this video, I intend to argue the claim that the amount of money an individual has at the time of their death can greatly influence the way that individual is remembered. When we first look at Helmsley's mausoleum, the first aspect that I see is the size of it. To a normal civilian, seeing a burial plot of this size would most likely give off a very strong idea of importance and admiration for the deceased. Additionally, this monument has many parallels to a monument that we have discussed in class, the Parthenon. When we take a look at both monuments, it is easy to see the similarities. Helmsley's mausoleum clearly shows Greek architectural aspects in its construction. We see the typical Greek columns present as well as the intricate borders around the top. In creating this monument, the Helmsley family chose to emulate the Parthenon to try to express the influence that Mr. Helmsley had on society and how powerful of a man he was. Just like the Greeks tried to express how Athena was such a pivotal part of their society and adored by men. In channeling the Parthenon, the Helmsley family was able to have Mr. Helmsley remembered as an iconic figure just by the way his mausoleum was built. However, his criminal charges, plea of insanity, and the negative aspects of his fortune are not to be known to anyone who comes to visit this graveyard. Here we see the burial site of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, which is also located at Woodlawn National Cemetery. Stanton was an American social activist, abolitionist, and the leading figure in the early women's rights movement. Her Declaration of Sentiments, given in 1848, is often credited with initializing the first organized women's rights and suffrage movements. Cady Stanton died with little wealth to her name due to the lack of rights and opportunity for women at the time. Although her burial plot is not small, it does not even come close to the size and structure of Harry Helmsley's. For all of Stanton's amazing accomplishments and the impact she had on society we live in today, she is an individual that should be one of the main attractions at Greenlawn. However, her lack of personal wealth did not allow for her to be remembered the way that she deserves. Joseph Pulitzer is another notable individual buried at Woodlawn National Cemetery. Pulitzer's tomb is also relatively small compared to Helmsley's. Pulitzer is mostly remembered for developing the Pulitzer Prize, which is an award for achievements in newspaper and online journalism, literature, and musical composition in the United States. Pulitzer's tomb is very ordinary and would not catch the eye of many people who pass it during their trip to Woodlawn. For a man who created one of the most prestigious prizes in the United States, his tomb does not convey the achievements and accomplishments that he made over his lifetime. After taking a look at other individuals in the cemetery like Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Joseph Pulitzer and understanding their extremely positive influence to the United States, it is apparent that they are significantly underrepresented by their tombstones and burial plots. We can see how Harry Helmsley's mausoleum is much better constructed and really draws in a visitor's attention, and to most people he would seem like one of, if not the most important people buried at Woodlawn, when really his fortune was overshadowed by illegal activity and criminal charges. By looking at these three burial plots, it is apparent that the amount of money an individual has at the time of their death can change the way that person is viewed for years to come.